planning on growing your brand and business in 2025? If yes, then this video is for you. I did planning for 25 times this year since July 1st for the agency, and I come up with 3 steps that cover it all. And showing them to you would mean showcasing our flaws and weak spots of the agency, but that's badass, right? Let's do this. I have a note. I want you to focus on the video right now. All the tasks and rules I'll have in PDF file below the video. Analyze, plan, and execute. 3 simple steps. Sounds easy, right? But is it? What's that complicated about it? Analyze. Entrepreneur is like a person in a dark room with no light who's trying to find the gold. He'll find that eventually, but will it take him 20 minutes or 20 hours? That's the question. Just find the lights and turn that on and see the picture. That's what analyzing does to your brain. You're saving your time back to analyzing. I'll be doing that with business and brand combined. Why? Because business, the simplest definition I found, is producing something of value and exchanging that voluntarily for money. Once I said brand is a lubricant for business, that reel was top performing reel of the month, and we do 155 reels per month. So that definition just stuck with you, right? We'll be using that. Life goes easier with a brand. Brand is deliberate pattern of things. It's definition by Alex Hormozi. You cannot grow your business without having a brand. So I apply business tricks to branding and vice versa. How do you know with what you should be pairing your brand? And for that, I have magical branding formula. You have to define who you are, who's your target audience, what are your goals, and out of that, you get brand pairings, things you pair your brand with. You pair your product with the things target audience finds great and that would serve your goal. If you do the opposite, you move your brand back from the goal. We call it loss. Why is it bad? Because losses are more powerful than wins. Whenever you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, everything is going well until it doesn't. All of the things she did perfectly, that didn't matter. You remember just the only one bad thing which happened. That's how losses work. That's how our mind works. And that's how it physically works. Why? Because it would take a person 12 times to get back to the restaurant where she was once poisoned. Not intentionally, but got poisoned, accidentally. To overcome that thought, she has consumed bad food here. And I have second example of investments here. Let's say you invest $10,000 in the first year and you get 11% profit in the first year. At the end, you have $11,100. In the second year, you have initially same $11,100. You get 10% loss. And as you see, 10% loss is less than 11% profit. But at the end, you get $9,900. Why? Because losses weight more. You can calculate these investments in a different order, loss in the first year and again in the next. You'll still get $9,990. In 2 years, less than what you had initially. Same with brand pairing. Got it. Let's check now how I resolved the formula for my agency. Doing this for maybe 100th time, but still, do not judge me. We have product, target audience, goals, and brand pairings. Let's define a product. And for that, I have 7 questions. What is the product based on the problem it is solving? Why are we unique? Emotional benefits, rational features, sound and voice, look and feel, and what role do we play in users' life? What is a product? It's agency that does premium full branding, including any design services you want. Web design or graphic or UI or UX or no code development. We analyze the product strategically and do all the visual representation it needs. Why are we unique? Because one designer focuses on one project at a time for at least 2 weeks. Emotional benefits. You see them on the screen, and rational features as well, sound and voice, serious mostly and powerful, sometimes funny, always true, direct and casual. Look and feel. Bold, graffiti, breaks the rules, Pantera, sexy, mysterious, rich, and premium. What role do we play in user's life? That's interesting because I've been thinking about that, and then I found a character whose name is Wesley from The Duff. Once I was a teenager and I watched that film, and I was like, that's the sexy dude who gets a bit of shy girl, and he teaches her how to be sexy and attractive, how to be expressive with all of that. We do the same with businesses. We take a business which is shy and which is not fully expressed, and we do that visually. Isn't it badass? Now we have tons of copy, which we just contract up to one sentence, and then we have Badass agency. That's the name. A name tells it all. We have the defined target audience, and you also see all these long descriptions. We are mainly focusing on business owners in LA and NY. Then we have goals. When in 2 years, business owners in California will be starting the business or get stuck at the business, they will need rebranding, right? They'll think of us and come up to us for long-lasting brands on at least level 4. There are 5 levels of uniqueness. Level 4 is almost irreplaceable brands. It's real unique brands. These are the goals. Here we are. What are the brand pairings? I'm gonna cut it short. It takes up a long thinking process, so that's why we have designers and we have brainstorming sessions working on that. Brand pairings that I think would work in 2025. That's what we'll be doing ourselves. First, contacting and selling companies in the US, especially LA and New York. Really interesting. Goliath and David plan. I've been reading a book, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. He said there, if you are tiny and weak, you want to be more powerful, you have to find your Goliath and attack him by any means possible. That's what we are planning on doing in 2025. We will find ideal target avatar, which is company, middle-sized in US, and we'll attack the company with all of our reels, with YouTube videos, with rebranding concepts, with calls, emails, and offers. We'll get each client, and through that, we'll attract some new attention, which would upraise our reputation on the market. Badass social missions. We have really interesting branding missions. At the moment, we are doing branding for pet charity organization, Underdog. It has idea of hockey underdogs in Minnesota, which is awesome. See, these brand pairings are somehow badass because we are going to be attacking Goliath. And at the same time, they are just business processes. So first one is strategy. Offer partners who are great at selling high ticket projects to sell our services. They will sell our services and they'll get all of the money they want. Like they'll set the price themselves, at least $5,000. They'll get all the money and we'll be doing just the work. And by that, we will set solid level of pricing for our projects. Now, write down all you did in the categories in the table. We have trash, problems, and lost opportunities. Trash, these are things that do not contribute enough to growth of the agency. Problems, this is important stuff we cannot just throw out, we have to fix it first. Lost opportunities, everything we can possibly do instead of doing this boring work at the moment. I tried to keep it super short. Tab number 2, that's planning. And now we break down our tasks into departments and set person responsible for doing that. Well, I manage my department and I've been doing that for several years now. And God, I've learned a lot of life lessons along the way. Your department is just you, right? Yes, Jim, but I'm not easy to manage. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Whenever I'm appointing somebody responsible for the department or for the decision, I'm appointing myself, except for the designers at the moment. Because we have team of 3 people, me and 2 more designers, which are really professional. I really respect them. I'm sending them kisses. And we have a bit more complicated table. At the same table, but still, it's different. Promotion. The way I grow our brand through social media, through marketing, targeting, targeted ads, PR, content making, free consultation, etc. Everything which helps us grow reputation. This is not according to the book. That's just my approach. Now we have the generation and sales. They generate money flow. Projects, doing the actual work. And I call it support department. Things without which we cannot perform our job, or it would be too time consuming and distracting, like education for the team, or management of the projects, or strategy, taxes, legal stuff, etc. Subjectively, I have this ordered in priority here: projects, sales, brand, and support. But it can change depending on the season. Back to the table, we did trash, problems, and lost opportunities, but we'll talk about them in more details. Trash, things we just cut out. We'll be focusing on problems first. We have to replace them with tasks. When you do not have a problem, you have a task, you know what to do. That's it. You broke it down and you are going and killing it. Then we have lost opportunities. Everything we can possibly do, all of the shiny objects. This video is lost opportunity. I'm blaming myself for that because I had to do branding for Badass, and I was so bored with that I decided I'm gonna record this super cute new shiny video for New Year for you. And I'm killing my time with that. But well, if you love it, hit like. That's gonna save my day. Alex Ramosi says, lost opportunities are like women in red dress. This is from Matrix. These people are not your people. They are there to kill you. This woman, which is not your process, is out there to kill you. Imagine you have a seafood restaurant and your fish, chef just always undercooks it. And you're like, yeah, that's a problem. But you close your eyes on this one and you move to a different building you just increase the square meters of your restaurant, you advertise more, you grow the team, more and more people come to you, you invest even more money, but your fish still sucks. You would be just throwing money away always because people from new ads will come and leave unsatisfied with the fish. You won't get repeated sales, you won't win in this game. So you fix the food first and only then you scale up. Problems first, that's the thing. You can grow your business, you can do any lost opportunities, you can, increase the number of people. But if you have problem, which is just draining your money, that's not gonna disappear anywhere. So here we have trash, tasks, and lost opportunities. You see, from those 3 problems, we came up with 4 tasks. Now, depending on your rhythm, you take some X number of problems per week and solve it in order of priority, which is important. Problems first. And I'm teaching myself this and fail every time. What a loser. I analyze and plan every Saturday, and each last Saturday of the month I check the entire yearly plan. Step number 3, execute. My favorite, most juicy part, because nobody knows how to do this. Somebody smokes weed and stays up creative, and somebody just doesn't sleep or sleeps for 3 hours and stays up productive. It's so magical. Business is direct representation of owner's state of mind. If it's cluttered, then business is cluttered. If the owner doesn't know what to do with his body or his mind, same goes for business. Here is how I organize myself. First, I organize my body. That's the easiest thing. That's just physical thing, and you can trick yourself into doing stuff. I analyze pairings, like in-brand pairings, or things which just worked out for me and which didn't in last year, with which I had poor experiences. And I break it all into 2 groups. And I love these groups as well. I call them trash and treasure groups. Trash always comes first. You can never add up more treasure to the room full of vomit, more nutritious food to the room full of vomit. So saying to yourself, I will start eating healthy, it means nothing. Cutting off 1 garbage at a time that we eat, like 1 in a week, and replacing it later, This is how our mind would let this system work. Things we stereotypically cut out might not be the worst things for us. Let's say I'll write weed in a trash column, but I do not smoke weed. So it's great, and writing this would be same as kind of jumping with a parachute. Weird and useless, because I'm not jumping up with a parachute every day. Like, why would I be cutting this off if I'm not experiencing it? For 1 week or months, I would make this list really short, like keep there one item. That would be enough. And here is my list. Second step, I do mind. I work with my mind, right? I have as well trash and treasure columns. And for trash, I love adding here not obvious stuff. Not obvious stuff hurts us more than we think. People unwilling to grow. Somebody would say toxic people. Like, how do you define those people? Be more specific, please. Then I added up here films and series, because it just wastes my time and also it fucks with my mind. And I have treasure. Rituals. That's interesting. That was recommended by Emma Grady. I listened to this brilliant podcast with her and Jay Shetty, where she said that she owns around 4 to 5 businesses. Business is stressful. Nobody comes to business owner with great news. Everybody comes to you when payments are late, when there are problems, right? And you are a person to solve everybody's problems in the business. That's what it is. You're stressed all the time. We can get used to this, but being stressed is not healthy. That's not great for my business tomorrow, because if I'm stressed today and if I want to sleep well, if I want to just let my mind rest a little, I wouldn't be able to perform tomorrow. So I have to turn off sometimes. Easiest thing which helped me, not meditation, like that takes up time. That takes up at least 3 minutes, right? And I was like sitting there for 3 minutes when I tried that, and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, and I was counting seconds, or I was, looking at the walls or anything I could do. But then I started doing some rituals. It sounds weird, but basic stuff like clean your face or like wash the dishes. But you do this like ritual. You approach it differently. You approach it a bit more slowly. Maybe you can play music while you're washing dishes, and maybe you can buy some super fancy soap for that, and you would smell that would be good, and then you can put on your hand cream. What am I describing to you? I'm describing to you washing the dishes. That's stupid. Or you can do something different. You can just have a tea ceremony, whatever you want. What else for treasures I have? Meditation, education, training with the team, not controlled but inspired. It's interesting because we're still talking about business here, and I went a bit too personal here. Not control, but inspire. I do weekly goals with team, and I'm trying to set a plan for education for team, or do education right on the goal. I'm not trying to control the way they are performing work or the way they are studying, but to inspire them. Control would never work. If I'd be controlling everybody, I'd be giving up a piece of my time to everybody in the team. Let's assume I have a team of 24 salesmen, and I want to check how they're doing their calls. Would I check like 24 hours of footage in a day? Would I do my work? Of course, I am over-exaggerating here, but that's how it works. If I'm constantly controlling somebody, I'm not doing my own work. All of these things which we wrote down, all of this trash and treasure stuff, it sounds hard. But if you break it down and see plan for 1 week, this is much easier than we thought. When I set realistic goals, I can easily go to bed and wake up on time. Sounds basic. On the contrary, I had days when I couldn't sleep because of business, or I didn't want to wake up because I wasn't excited about the workday. Both situations are not advantageous, so just set the realistic days. Now I guarantee that you will grow at the things you planned for you and you wrote in the tasks. And also tasks are in the PDF below the video as a reminder. Why? Because you grow what you track. I heard Alex Hormozi say when he worked at a gym, he had people losing weight just because they were tracking the weight. They changed nothing about their diet or training. It was just there in their head constantly, and it affected their tiny choices. Stairs over elevator, basic stuff. And at last, my wishes for you for 2025. Our fate does not lie in the hands of the date we were born, or in the stars, or in the name, but it lies within postal code. I was born with a postal code of 38020. That's tiny village you might not even see on the map, or you might not even be able to pronounce it. And it has population of 84 people. Maybe less, because it's been tracked, I don't know, 5 or 10 years ago. So maybe we just have half of that population because of a full-scale invasion in Ukraine here. The thing is, most of the people born with the same postcode as me stay in the village, work at school, administrative systems, farming, or beekeeping like my father does. I'm already thinking differently than them. I'm already having different fate than all of those people. And I'm already breaking those ties of the postal code. I wish you to be so badass not to be impacted by any postal code in the world, and create your own fate. And leave comment or DM us on the Instagram for branding or free consultations. Bye.